you say to people who are just starting out on their MMA or jiu-jitsu path and they really want to compete? You know, like what's some insights or wisdom you'd send back to them?
Don't give up. I mean, if you're just starting on your jiu-jitsu or MMA path, it's a long road, and competition is the best way to learn. Honestly, I would recommend competing as soon as you possibly can. Of course, against people that are your level, you know, like are white belts competing with white belts, and your MMA experience is your MMA experience. But I would competition is the fastest way to progression, I believe, because you're testing yourself. It's real. Is this real? Is it going to work in the wild against someone that doesn't know? It's hard in the gym. You know, you get discouraged in the gym because people learn your game. People are there learning the same thing you're learning if you're taking classes, and they're going to try and use the same things on you. And then when you try and use that on them, they're going to know what you're doing because you just learned that together. So it can be semi discouraging for people in MMA and jiu-jitsu to be practicing in the gym and think that they're getting better. You have to be doing more. You have to be doing more, drilling more, learning more if you want to be better than the people in your gym. If you just want to progress and learn, you do your gym stuff and then you go and compete and you level up. Every time you compete, you level up. Every time you do something outside of what's required of you, you level up. And that's just the nature of, I think, everything, but mainly in jiu-jitsu and MMA, it can be discouraging, and it can be hard, and it can be sad. When I was first starting MMA, I cried when I was learning stand-up. I cried every day after practice.
Wow.
Is this the right thing for me? Everything hurts. People hate me. They don't like, just like negativity, just crying and crying and crying. And then you get over it eventually, but it's not easy. Nothing that is worth having is easy, right? I mean, that's the biggest thing for me is compete. You learn, you level up so fast. If you win or lose, you learn so much. You learn more if you lose, but there's also a great capacity to learn from winning as well. Making sure that you have good competition to test yourself, continually testing yourself is my thought process for if you're just starting MMA or jiu-jitsu. It's not going to be easy. Some days you're the hammer, some days you're the nail. That's something that I tell myself all the time still to this day. Sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail, sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. On those days that I'm just not feeling so good, maybe got smashed, I'm like, all right, well, today's my day to be the nail, and then those days that I'm feeling great and smashing people, I'm like, yeah, hammer day,
Yeah. I think that's what it's taught me, just training has taught me about the long-term journey and the long-term relationship and the long-term resilience and strength that's built when you stick with it. Because I've been training a long time, not a crazy long time, but I've been training for 15 years now, and I still get discouraged, and then I still get inspired. That's what I sort of feel myself go between. And in competing, all the times I get discouraged. I'm like, what the hell am I doing still? And then I have those times where I'm super inspired and I'm like, this is why I'm doing this, and you have to be willing to go through that and face that. But then you develop so much resilience and strength and a greater joy in life because you understand that. So important. So thanks for sharing that. What would you say, particularly, is there any particular advice or wisdom you would share with young female fighters just starting out?
You can always say no. That's like a big thing for me. Yeah, is I grew up in a male dominated sport. I wrestled for 12 years. I never the sport wasn't where it is now, to where I got an opportunity to go with women. I just consistently went with boys and men, and that became it became regular for me in my life. And so when I went into MMA gyms and stuff like that, and I was paired with males, it didn't like affect me very much until I got better. And scared men get scared, and so do women, and you don't have to do anything you don't want to. You can always say no. You can always say no. And it's a great practice to say no. Being able to just be like, I'm uncomfortable with that. Not today. I don't feel like we're the same way. I mean, being scared, being afraid is different than keeping yourself safe.
Yeah, really good distinction. That's huge. I have that too. I've had a number of women in my classes over the years that are like, I really try to carefully pair women up with the people that they roll with, like if there's only other men to roll with. I try to be really conscious of who I'm pairing them up with, like giving them a challenge, but not, putting them
in danger.
To train with someone who's not as considerate or as controlled.
Yeah.
As it could be. And I have women have constantly thanked me for like, wow, I never have people ask me that in the class, or like ask me who I want to roll with, or, pair me with these correct people, or think of that. And so I think that's a really important thing that I'd encourage, especially to any women out there. Speak up to your professor or to you about exactly what you're saying, Liz. And then also to professors or coaches out there, like think about that stuff. Don't just like throw people with anyone. Like think about who you're pairing the women with. Make them have a good experience. Help them have a good experience. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Hey, thanks for watching this interview. I hope you feel uplifted and inspired by what was shared. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel to make sure that you see all the other awesome videos that we have coming up.